25% tariffs on Canada. The race to lead Canada's Liberal Party may hinge on handling the new president. Former Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland is pitching herself as the best person to lead Canada's fight with the sprint to succeed Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now on. She joins us live to discuss. Good morning, Ms. Freeland. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Karen. You should call me Chrystia. Everybody does.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
You have focused your leadership bid on the Donald Trump threat. But there are some Canadians who will say that we don't have a working parliament right now to effectively deal with that threat because of the chain of events set off by your resignation.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and it is free to do so. And Parliament is on hold right now until the end of March because Trudeau closed it. So whatever Trudeau and the Liberals are doing, it's supposed to pass through the House. And it's not going through the House, so they're breaking more laws as they're going. And today we're going to listen to more lies, and more lies from Freeland and the Liberals. Remember, once a Liberal, always a Liberal. Remember that when it comes to election time, everybody.
What do you say to those Canadians?
That's really the Prime Minister's responsibility. He made the choice to move me, to tell me he didn't want me to be finance minister anymore, and he made the choice to step down. But I think the good news for Canadians right now is we have a clear debate, we have a clear race, and we have a clear question. And you're right. The question is, who can stand up for Canada? Who can fight for Canada? And I know that I can do that because I've done it before and I have a plan. We need to be strong, smart, and united. And, we need to...
She had a plan. Look at her plan after 9 years. Look what they've been doing after 9 years. And if we get another 4 years of them, we will end up in the 51st state. We got tariffs coming on us on February 1st. And on top of that, we have the carbon tax on top of that, thanks to Freeland. She's the one who keeps saying amen to raising taxes, right? And now she wants to run for Prime Minister, another Liberal. Once a Liberal, always a Liberal. Don't forget that, everybody. This is just another scam for them. And if they get back in, we're in bigger trouble.
For Donald Trump, for him, weakness is a provocation. The only thing he respects, the only thing he understands is strength. And so as Canadians, we have to recognize, yeah, we're nice. I think of myself as a nice person. But in our meetings, Donald Trump called me the killer. And I don't mind that because we need now to stand up and...
She says she doesn't mind that, but I don't think it was in the right way. Every day, people are getting shot. People are getting stabbed. People are overdosing like crazy amounts. People dying on our streets, frozen. And she's all happy about that.
Fight for Canada. We have leverage. We are the biggest market for the United States in the world, bigger than China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. We have to use that leverage. We have to show the Americans that if they hit us, we will hit back. And we have to say, guys, things are great with us right now. You are so lucky to have Canada as a neighbor, and we're happy to have you guys as a neighbor too. But if you decide to hit us, if you decide to hurt our economy, if you decide to start saying joke, not jokes, about us being the 51st state, we're not going to lay back and take it. And I know that that is a fight that I can lead because I've done it before.
What would you do differently than what your former cabinet colleagues have laid out? And in particular, I've got to ask, because it's the politically divisive issue, energy exports. Where does the withholding or tariffing of Canada's energy fit into your approach?
Let me start with what I would do today if I was Prime Minister. If I was Prime Minister today, I would publish a retaliation list. We have huge leverage over the United States because we are their single biggest export market by a long shot. And we have said that we will do a dollar for dollar retaliation. I was the first person to publicly advocate for that. It's the right thing to do.
What'd she just say? If you look back on Pierre Poilievre's running, it's dollar to reduce taxes. And now she's trying to take a playbook out of Pierre Poilievre's book. Stop taking plays. Just call an election so we can actually have it done. You guys promised us so much crap after 9 years. Should I even say any more? 4 more years of Liberals, we're toast. Even we have 45 days left for Trudeau. Anything can happen then.
So what we need to do is say, yes, there will be a dollar for dollar retaliation, and then we need to publish the list, because Trump, he doesn't really care what Canadians say. He cares what Americans say. And if we publish that list, people in Michigan who make dishwashers, they'll say, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to sell them to Canada anymore. People in Florida who sell us orange juice are going to say, oh my God, this is really going to hurt my market. People in Kentucky who sell us bourbon are going to say, oh my God, Canadians are going to buy rye whiskey instead. People in Wisconsin who sell us cheese, very powerful lobby group in the United States, are going to say, oh my God, we're going to lose our Canadian market. And we need to publish that list today to activate those Americans to be calling up the White House and saying, Mr. President, what are you doing? The Canadians have never caused any problems for us. Why are you causing problems?
We're only causing problems right now. It's because of the drugs and the immigration. Close the borders. Stop with the immigration and stop with the drugs. You're hurting our own people. You're hurting the American people. Enough with it. Enough with these stupid lies. Just close the borders and stop with the drugs.
Americans understand the customer is always right. We are their customer, and we have to use that power.
Exports fit into that? And pardon the interruption, I just don't have a lot of time.
Understood,
so for our viewers in Alberta, who I know are very keen on knowing where you stand on the withholding and tariffing of Canada's energy exports.
You heard me say the Canadian response needs to be strong, smart, and united. And united is a really big part of that. What we need to do is have a conversation with all of the provinces and territories. I have great relationships with premiers across the country, and actually I'm still in touch with them. And what I would do if I were Prime Minister is travel to Edmonton, have a meeting with the provincial government and say, look, Alberta is part of Canada. If 25% tariffs are imposed on Canada, that hurts Alberta too. Let's talk about a united effort, and I would work with the other premiers to get Alberta on board.
They're trying to go after our oil. Danielle Smith is the only one protecting the oil. And hats off to her for standing her ground against Trudeau. We've seen what Trudeau has done to females trying to stand up to him. And that he's attacking her, he's doing everything that he possibly can. I'm glad Danielle Smith stand up for him. That is our oil. You protect our oil, and you protect our jobs. Well done, Danielle Smith.
That I could do that.
But to Premier Danielle Smith's point, your government over the last 9 years has foregone opportunities to diversify our market. Energy East, the Northern Gateway pipeline, those would have expanded Canada's access to other markets, but now we are incredibly reliant on the U.S. as an export market for Canada's oil. It was in your government's determination that those products were not in the national interest, but now it's in the national interest to use Alberta's oil as leverage. Is there no culpability there?
Well, actually, I'll tell you what I say to Albertans, which is I am the minister who got the TMX pipeline built. That was a huge project. It was a
So basically she built it and she'll take it away.
Nation building project. It would not have happened without the federal government. And it is diversification. It gives us a pipeline to the Pacific, huge and more important today than ever. And I would point out the Americans have not managed to build a pipeline to the Pacific themselves. So that trade diversification is something our government did, and actually something that I personally led and that I'm really proud of, because, and you know, I knew it was an important project while we were building it, but today we need it more than ever.
I have like 30 seconds left. So very quickly, you are saying now you are going to axe the tax. That is something that you have ridiculed the Conservatives for when it comes to the consumer price on carbon. You have ferociously defended it. That's going to be a hard sell to Canadians.
We're not buying it. We're not buying it. it's only for them. They're only doing this to get back in power. Once a liberal, always a liberal. Remember that. If you vote the liberals back in, we're in more trouble than ever. If you vote Freeland back in, we might as well just be the 51st state. I don't want that. I'm born and raised in Canada. This is my country. This is going to get more insane if the Liberals or Freeland get back in. I'm telling you. Then don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, everybody.
I disagree. I think, first of all, we all know climate change is real. We all know we need to act on climate. And I know
you can fight climate change without putting a carbon tax on your own people. There's other ways to do it except carbon taxing your own people. And carbon tax, don't forget, we got tariffs coming February 1st. Are they axing the carbon tax so that Canadians can try and get back in for food, for rent, for shelter? No, they're going to keep the carbon tax on. At the same time, we're going to have tariffs coming on us. They don't care about us. If they did, they would close the borders and stop with the drugs. Protect our people, protect the American people. But it shows. It's all lies, and they don't care about Canada.
all Canadians really get that. But politics is also about listening to people. And it's actually a wrong attitude to think you're always right and that your job is to tell people how wrong they are and how they don't understand stuff. Canadians have said really clearly, we do not like the consumer price on pollution.
Did you bring that to the Prime Minister?
You know what? I was talking about this in Winnipeg yesterday. For me, the turning point was talking to Premier Wab Kinew in Manitoba. He is a great progressive leader, and I met with him right after he was elected. And the first thing he said to me is, could we do a deal on a climate plan for Manitoba that doesn't include a consumer price? And that was the moment when I said, yeah, I went back to Ottawa and I said, Manitoba, with a great new progressive premier, wants a new plan where consumers are not directly touched. That's the system we have for Quebec, right? Quebec has cap and trade, no direct price on consumers. That's what Canadians are telling us they want. And I think it's actually a very arrogant position for a political leader to think they know everything. If people are telling you something, you really have to listen.
Ms. Freeland.
We've been telling you this for 9 years. Have you listened? Are you still going to listen? Take the carbon tax off, close the border, stop with the drugs, no tariffs. That's all he asks us for. That's all Mr. Trump, the President of the United States, is asking for. Stop with the massive drug flow going through Canada to the U.S. Protect our people and protect their people. But is it going to happen? Like and subscribe, everybody. God bless, stay warm, and we'll see you in the next one, my friends.